What's going on YouTube? Wide Open Throttle here, back with another tutorial video and also specification and unboxing of the Hero 11 Black Creator Edition. So stick around and we're gonna see what is inside this bad boy. Alright guys, so now that I was able to take everything out of the box and put it into this nice carrying case, as you can hear, that does not sound good in there. Well, let me tell you why. This is a nice case, especially made from GoPro for GoPro, but look, there's no compartment in here. So when you put everything in here, including the accessories, the light, it just jiggles and wiggles around. There's no compartments, which I kind of wish that there were. At least like something that's custom made for this, molding that you can just put in there and it'll stay in place, but it doesn't have that. The case itself is pretty sturdy, but like I said, I wish there was some separation or different compartments in here that all of these accessories can go into without them rattling around. That is my wish about the case, but you can always carry different things with you, like your carrying case for your road accessories. You can probably just plop that in there, and then maybe the pod track that you see my previous videos, I can put that in here too. So the more stuff you have in here, the more it's gonna stay in place, but you know, it's neither here nor there. What we have in here is what we get. Alright, so first let's talk about the main event, which is the GoPro 11. Now this is a 4K capable device. It can record 4K in 120 frames per second, or it can go for 5.3K, which is slightly better resolution for only 60 frames a second. And way below all of that, it can record at 2K resolution at 240 frames per second. So that's the specs of the camera there. It does have a front facing LCD screen, so you can see what you're recording along with the LCD screen in the back. And it does have the standardized record button at the top here, and also the LCD screen in the back is a touch screen, and also the mode button over here to select various modes. And at the bottom of the GoPro you have your mount points here, so when you have your standardized GoPro accessory, all you have to do is just plop that in there, and then with your pin just go into the other end like so, and it screws in. So essentially that's how that works, but I think I got it backwards. I'm gonna do it like this, so you can go in like that, and then you can lock it in at essentially any angle, and it stays secure. So it stays mounted on there, so you can have it mounted on a wall, a helmet, whatever you want to do. It does have some heft to it though, so maybe helmet wise it may not be as good. So as for comparison, I do have one of my favorite GoPro of all time. It is the Session. So this is the Session 5. They stopped making this after this series. They do have another one of the newer generation, but it's still a lot bigger than this one. So this is the Hero 5, and if for comparison, look at that. Essentially, for me at least, whenever I'm riding, this will be a much better product to connect to your helmet, because it's pretty light, and all you need to do is just have a mounting harness on it, and it attaches to your helmet. Whereas this, it's a big clunky thing. So I mean, they're both waterproof, they both have image stabilization. This one is a little bit better, but still, for what we need for us riders, just capturing basic stuff, even like the ancient Hero 5, that will work just fine. So that's just a size comparison. And if I may bring out a US quarter. So this is what it looks like in size comparison. So boom, look at that. The lens itself, the size of a quarter. So yeah, so that's what so yeah, this is the Hero Session 5. But we're not here to talk about that. It was just me ranting. So now, where are all these connectors at? Well, first you can just pop this open. So yeah, so essentially this is where the battery goes, the memory card goes in there, and then the USB charging port goes there. Now I totally understand why it would be inside of the bay, because you know you want it waterproof and you don't want water to get into it. But with modern phones such as this one, this is a waterproof phone, and this is already waterproof. So the technology is there. So they could have easily put that USB port on the outside so you can have this bay closed and also be charging it at the same time. But they opted to be inside of that bay, and this door essentially needs to be open while you're charging it. So another opportunity for them to maybe get right within maybe the GoPro 12. But essentially that's what it is. But it is what it is. So now let's put all of these accessories together. So if we refer back to our instructions here, it says first to go download the app on your Google Store. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so essentially the first step is to get the app, which is on here. Got the GoPro Quick Video Editor. Install. And while that's installing, we're gonna look at this here. So it says to charge it first, and then this side bay here is removable. So all you have to do is take off this thing here and then pop that right off. So this bay comes off. So whenever you're using this attachment, you're gonna remove this. As you can see here, there is a little indentation there where that metal piece attaches to. So when you go to put it back, just pop it in and then you plop it back in. So essentially with this device, you do not need that bay door. And then you're just gonna slide it in ever so slowly into its position there. And then this thing will now click down to a snap. So now you have your external boom mic connected to the GoPro device itself. And of course these are all just extension of the button, so there's no physical button there. It's not controlled by the USB-C. It just push the button that's already on there. And that's the same goes with the top button there. Okay, so now as you can see here, so now this USB-C, you have your audio mic, you have your HDMI out, and also your USB-C adapter there for other devices. So you can actually use the Rode wireless microphone with this as well. All right, so now we're gonna go to the next step, which is charge this fully. And all you have to do is plop that open there, plug that into a USB-C charger. Same thing with this as well. Charge it first before you use it. Make sure they're both at full capacity. And then, depending on the orientation, you can have it either on the top or on the side. So I like it to be on the top portion, so I'm just gonna slide that in there. You hear that little click. So essentially that's that right there. I'll plop this little thing on to this little diffuser, so it's gonna look like that. It is your windscreen, so much like the Rode microphone that I talked about in my previous video, this pretty much if you're in a windy situation, or like I said before, if you're in indoors and there's a air conditioning going on, it's kind of buzzing, this will help with the wind noise, so it won't like that you hear normally. It's gonna help reduce that. So all you have to do is just plop this on, and you're gonna go at it from the 45-degree angle here. Just plop it on like that. So boom, so now you have your windscreen on. All right, and then last but not least, we're gonna pull out these two guys here, and then we're gonna do it, of course, depending on the orientation that you want. Usually you want the control towards you, and the subject and the camera facing forward. So you're doing this there. You lock it in with the pin. So now you got that, and then this battery. Sorry. Alright, so now you have that. Everything's all set up like this, and then you can just use the device like that. And then don't forget to plug this in to the USB-C. Boom, right there. So now that will charge that. And also, if you want to, you can use that as a tripod. So the reason why this has a little bit of play to it is that this thing rotates and it clicks. You hear that click from one side to the other. So if you ever want to use the tripod of it, this is kind of weird, but usually this is pointing towards the front, and then you just kind of angle that back there. So now you can film whatever's in front of you. So it's kind of leaning towards the front. So if I can show you that way there. So the camera just leaning this way. So you have to pull it back just a little bit there so it stays leveled. So that's pretty much it. What's going on, guys? Wide Open Throttle here, and hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing portion of it. So now we're going to dive deep into the specifications. So essentially, you already saw what's in the box. What's in the box? God, such a great movie. So what's in the box of this Hero 11 Creator Edition? So essentially, in the unboxing, you already know what's already in the box, but just officially on the website here, you have the Hero 11 Black Edition GoPro, and along with that, you have the Volta hand grip. Essentially, what that is, it's a fancy tripod with some built-in controls, and also it is a battery bank for your GoPro, extending that lifetime. Now, what it is not, it is not a gimbal. So if you buy this thinking it's a gimbal, zero gravity, that's not the case. So all it is just a tripod with a built-in battery bank and then some controls on recording on it, that's all. And also, second to that, it comes with the light mod. Essentially, all it is an external light. So a series of LEDs together, it lights up your subject, that's it. And then after that, it is the media mod. It's just a adapter that goes onto your Hero 11, and it converts the internal mic into the external mic, the boom mic, and also it has some inputs and outputs as well on there to modify essentially your GoPro 11. And last but not least, it does have the Enduro battery. Now, the Enduro battery, which I'll talk about in a little bit, essentially it does come standard in the 11s, which I believe it is optional on the 10s and the previous edition. So, yeah, which is another perk of buying the Hero 11. And from my understanding is that it comes with the Hero 11 regardless of the creator bundle or not. It will be a standard battery. What it does not come with, as you can see in the unboxing, does not come with a memory card. So you will need to buy an external memory card if you want to have some removable media, something to save your video into, because this device does not have any internal memory. It will not save anything internally. So if you want to make some content, make sure you get yourself a good SD card that can be reliable and save your media content into that. And one of the things scrolling up and down here is that I noticed that you can't get rid of the pricing advertisements. You can only scroll up and down, but the pricing and all the add-ons stays fixed. Good job, GoPro. So let's get into the specification of the GoPro 11 itself. So we all know GoPro is good at recording 4K, but in this edition, it also can record in 5K. So it is better resolution. However, it caps out at 60 frames per second. So if you want to record anything that's a little bit faster or more detailed, it will not go beyond that. However, in 4K mode, you can record up to 120 frames per second. So which is a plus. And of course, you can also taper down from there too. It does record in 2K, as I mentioned in the open box earlier. Okay, so this also comes with a optical stabilization on the lens itself. So if you're out and about doing a lot of hyperactive activities, regardless of what it is, it will keep your image stabilized which is a plus, especially if you're going to be jumping around, or if you're on a boat, or on a motorcycle like myself, doing, hopefully not doing tricks. Anyways, it does come with a extended life battery, which comes with an asterisk next to it. It is compared to its previous generation batteries, and also it works better in colder temperatures as well, lasting a little bit longer, which I'll go into the specification later in the video. And also the enhanced audio capture. It's not really referring to the internal mic. It is referring to that mod earlier that I was talking about, which the external boom mic. So it does capture a little bit better audio quality, but it also comes with an input for an external mic. So you can use one of these also, and it can record and capture on your GoPro itself, which is pretty cool. A lot of the content creators nowadays, and also some of the cameras I've noticed, doesn't even have an AV in for external mics. So hey, if this one here has that feature, you're now able to expand into third-party microphones such as the Rode Wireless Go 2, and then you can use that as your audio capture device for the footage that you're capturing on your GoPro 11. It's pretty good. And also the Cloud Connect, but that is also another asterisk. You require that account, which lo and behold, it is a paid account. And I'm sure they'll say it somewhere on here that you have to subscribe to it, but we'll get to that in another video. All right, so Hollywood in your hand. Wow, that's pretty ambitious. I love that. Okay, yeah, blah blah blah. As you can see here with the creator edition, it does come with all the goodies there. You can see this person probably doing a selfie reporting of an event back there, which looks pretty riveting. Nice. And let's see, one shot share anywhere. All right, so the next thing about this is that the image sensor on the GoPro is essentially, you can't really change the size, but all the cropping capabilities is built into the actual software itself. So the application, you can always zoom, crop. But the image that the image that it collects is always going to be in full frame. It is just the after effect of it. It's going to be cropping down. So this I'm going to have to test out. I haven't recorded anything in 5K yet, but you know, it looks promising. So we shall see. Stabilization, hyper smooth. So that's just their fancy word for saying that there's an optical stabilizer on there. A little sample of what the image stabilization is going to be. Pretty nice. So the next thing that I thought was pretty cool is their horizon lock. So essentially built in, it will know where the horizon's at and it's going to lock onto it. So if you're doing tricks where you're flipping around, I can see that can be cool with, say, surfing, doing airplanes, stuff like that. But for me, I'll be riding in a motorcycle mostly, and hopefully I'll stay upright and I won't be flipping around like this plane here. All right, so the next cool option here is the power to shoot all day, which we're gonna test in the field. So next time I go on a long ride, I'll record and see how long it actually lasts. But as advertised now, it's 4 hours of 4K on 30 frames per second. So that's not the 120. So expect to see a little bit less power. So I expect to see a little bit less recording time if you are recording anything higher than 4K 30 frames. And that's not even 4K 120 frames or 5K. So we shall see. And with the Creator Edition, it does come with the single-handed control. So the buttons that you see over here, you can record and do other things with it. And built-in tripod, which you already know about, wireless remote, yada yada yada. You can control from that up to 98 feet away, which is pretty decent. So it is connected to Bluetooth to your Hero 11, so you can be, let's say, give or take 90 feet away from the camera itself, and you can still use control. All right. So here are some of the options that you can use it on. Let's see, production value. And there we go. That's the directional mic that I was talking to you about. So you can control what's in front. And you know, I have to see if it's in stereo or if it's just a mono recording. Maybe when I export the video, I'll take a look at that. A little light, a lot of magic. Nice. We'll have to see how that goes and see how far that reaches. Okay, so this is actually I really like this. Is the expansion part of it. So the mod comes with two mount points, as I showed you in the unboxing. You can put the flash and either or the position, the landscape or the portrait side of it, and also it comes with a micro HDMI out. So you can further expand it with if you have a portable screen that you can use on the side to make it a little bit more visible than the screen that's on the GoPro itself right now. That's also a possibility. And also, if you have your own mic, like I was saying earlier with the Rode Wireless Go 2, you can plug that one in there and you just bypass that mic in general. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool option. So I really like that. Okay, so this is actually a nice option that I see on here. So with the Quick app, you can essentially transfer footage from your GoPro to your phone wirelessly without having to take out the actual SD card and putting it into your phone. So you can do it for quick previews if you want to send it, make quick contents, post it on your Instagram, Shorts, YouTube Shorts, whatnot. You can do it that way. Or you can just take the SD card out and then plug it into your computer and then work with your workstation. And then from there, doing your high-end video and also audio editing then. So up to you. All right, so we're getting to the nitty-gritty specification part of it now. So you see we have the LED mod, the light with the diffuser, that white cover that I was showing you earlier, and we have the removable windscreen to prevent any sort of wind noise that you may pick up from the mic. The Hero 11 Black itself, which I would hope that the bundle comes with that, and the flipped out mounting fingers that you can mount your GoPro to the actual tripod itself. You have the media mod, which is that device there that expands out your inputs and outputs too. And then you have the Volta battery grip plus remote. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the battery itself. So as mentioned before, this is the new Enduro battery. Essentially, it's the next creation of this is the next generation of batteries from GoPro. Essentially, it's better insulated, so at extreme weather temperatures, it will still operate and actually hold the juice a little bit better than previous generations. So the Enduro battery that comes along with the bundle is a 1720 milliamp battery. So according to GoPro, this battery itself, the Enduro battery, can hold up to 38% more than previous generation. So in theory, you can record a little bit longer than previous battery and previous gens. And then here's the specs that I was talking about here. It dramatically improves cold weather performance. So anything down to 14F or negative 10C. And this battery will perform up to its specifications. So according to GoPro, it is fast charging, but I wasn't able to find the actual max wattage that this battery can take. GoPro didn't specify the max wattage that this battery can take for a fast charge, but I was looking at their charger that they were selling on their website. The maximum that I see on there is about 22 watts. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take to charge a battery from 0 to 100. Maybe I can test that out and then send some facts your way. But according to the website, that is one of the main selling points, but they don't have any figures on here about how long it's going to take to charge from 0 to 100 and how many cycles this battery is going to be good for. So I'll have to do some research and get back to you on that one. All right, so up next I have the Volta tripod slash battery charger slash remote control. So what makes this device so special is that it has a built-in battery bank, so it can charge your GoPro on the go. And so on here it claims that it can hold up to 4 hours of charge when you're recording 5K at 30 frames per second. So which is pretty impressive compared to the Enduro battery. So this battery that's built into the Volta is what is that, 4900 milliamp. So as you can recall earlier, the Enduro, the battery that came in, 1720. So that's what, 2.8, almost 3 times the capacity of that Enduro battery. So essentially you have the Enduro. Once that runs low, you have another 4,900 milliamps at your disposal on top of that 1,720 milliamp battery. So essentially it can last you a long time, but it is kind of bulky. So you know that stick that you have to hold and move around. But if you don't mind for just holding it around for your content creation, you can use it as a mini selfie stick, if you will. Then yeah, that will last you a very long time. All right, and of course it has integrated record buttons. We already know about that. Built-in tripod, we already know about that. And of course you can wirelessly control your GoPro from up to 100 feet away, and 30 meters for you European folks. It is weather resistant, but it is not waterproof. So weather resistant is different from waterproof. Just remember that. So weather resistance, light rain, light splash, that's fine. There's no guarantees behind that. And waterproofing, they actually do seal tests and dust tests and all that other stuff. But that's another can of worms. We'll get down in the, we'll get to it in the future. The status lights for battery life, which I showed you, is those 5 LED lights on the front of the tripod there. So actually on this one, it does give you some specifications for input and output. So power input, we're looking at 15 watts max. So output, I'm assuming, is from the battery bank to the GoPro at 12 watts max. Not bad. All right, so next let's look at the light mod. So as you can see there, we got, what is that, 10 LEDs in the front. So let's see what it has here. It has a light diffuser, which we already saw. So it has 4 levels of brightness, and I just found out it has a strobing effect. So if you want to induce seizures to your subjects, that's another option. And this one here is waterproof up to 33 feet. So that's the same exact specification as your GoPro E11. So you can take that one diving if you want, up to you. And then rechargeable, USB-C, universal, and then 6 hours of runtime, which we're going to test out as well. And oh yeah, there it is, a strobe effect for signaling and visibility. So if you get lost somewhere, that strobe will get some attention at least. So don't use that close up or shine in your eye. Oh, nice. It even gives you the specifications here. So overdrive mode. Now that one only lasts 30 seconds, so use accordingly. 200 lumens at 1 meter. And let's see, level 3 is 125 lumens, 1 meter. And then level 2 is at 60 lumens, and level 1 is at 20 lumens. It's kind of dim, but all right. Runtime level 3, 1 hour at level 3, 2 hours at level 2, and 6 hours at level 1. All right, last but not least, let's take a look at the media mod. Well, look at these guys. They're super happy. Nice. Okay, so what this does is that includes removable windscreen and also vertical and side mounting mounts for your accessories. So built-in directional mics, so that's like a boom mic that just focuses to the area that's right in front of you. And I mean, like I said before, the cool thing about this is that it does have a 3.5 millimeter mic port that let you use external mics. So you can use the Rode, you can use your own mics, whatever you wish. It has a port for it, but make sure it's 3.5 millimeters though. And also it has a HDMI out to play back on an external monitor. So if you want to proof any sort of your footage and a bigger screen, the HDMI out will be definitely beneficial there. And essentially that's pretty much it. It does provide some sort of protection because it does loop around the camera itself, but the camera itself is already pretty durable, so it really doesn't add much to it versus that external boom mic and also the port. So the the audio in port, and also the USB, which is more of a pass-through, so you can plug that in and it charges your battery for you. All right, and last but not least, I just want to mention that so what I do see is a little bit of problematic for this is that on here it says HDMI out on your media mod, but it doesn't say what HDMI out it is. Is it micro? Is it mini? Is it regular HDMI out? The correct answer, it's a micro HDMI out. So when you buy a HDMI, when you buy an HDMI cord, make sure it is a micro on one end and a regular HDMI on the other end. So therefore you can plug it into your GoPro and then the other end to your external monitor or to your TV at home. So remember, it's micro to regular HDMI. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the specification of the GoPro 11 Hero specifications. I'm gonna take it out and ride around. I'll post some footage maybe after the video of what it looks like. And one thing though is that I do want to use that as a webcam also. Maybe in the future I will maybe post some footage of that as a webcam as opposed to the webcam that I'm using right now, which is what you're seeing me on. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to another open box and review and specification video. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a lot. Eventually, I do want to get paid for all the content I'm doing, but I'm still about 900 subscribers away. So if you know friend people, send them my way, please. And then just hit the thumbs up and then also the bell notification. And then hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.